Alright, now the next version. Where were we? Mark 6, I think. Alright, Lucas, welcome back. Here we have the Mark 6 Terran Wraith. You notice there's no launch pylons. We still have Sidewinder missiles, but we've replaced the outer missiles with back to the original lasers. This craft is capable of VTOL and will even orbit. But unfortunately, the trade-off is that it does not like flying at low altitude. The VTOL isn't pretty, and it's just so touchy. So I probably won't put this one on Kurtlex, but if you Skype me, I'll send you the craft file, because it is just such a pain to fly, and I don't want people downloading it and then having a go at me for building such a terrible craft. But we will show you how it works. So you've got to keep a close eye on it when it's VTOLing. Because it does tend to be a little quirky when you first get up. Like once you're up there, it's fine. Hands off, you know, it's doing its thing. But getting to that stable balance point, it can be a real pig. Once again, we have all the missiles. Only carrying 6 missiles on this one. Engage the main jets. Get 100 meters a second and we'll kill the VTOL. And up she goes. Of course, like most of my craft, it is capable of vertical flight. Of course, you don't see much of the scenery. But if you want altitude, the quickest way is straight up. So we'll fly this up to about 10,000 or so. And then we'll start leveling her out. You really do have to watch this so carefully because it's got 2 jets. And I needed the extra jet to lift the VTOL. There was just no other way around it. I tried reworking it so many other ways. It just would not have a bar of it. But all stock parts, we're just using the M-beams, those little science doodads, make the guns a little bit prettier. Bring it back to 45 degrees now that we've hit 10,000. As you can see, it still flies quite well. The pro grade isn't dropping that much below the nose. Maybe 5 degrees, which is acceptable. Especially for a plane this heavy. Right, so we're getting up to 20,000. Bring it back even further. We need some horizontal speed now. Now, the thing to keep in mind, at 29,000, the top engine will flame out, and you've got to be ready for it. So we'll bring that up. And those down a bit more, because there's more horizontal speed we can get out of this. We are still pushing up, which means that engine will flame out, so we've got to throttle down to half to avoid the flame out. But as you can see, even doing that, we're still accelerating. So it's no great loss. As long as we're accelerating, we're happy. Now, the thrust unit is 82 kilonewtons. If that falls below about 65, that will cause a flame out. So that's something else to keep an eye on. We are dropping. We're still accelerating, but we don't want to go down too far. Or we'll start slowing down again. So grab that nose back up. Still accelerating nicely. And we're starting to climb again. Even it off a bit. We want to be climbing, but we want to be climbing very slowly. So there's 1,800 meters. It rolls to the right for some reason. I'm not sure why it rolls to the right. Even with empty tanks and no engines on, it still rolls to the right. So I've done something. Alright, we're nearly at 1,900 meters a second, so that means we can go for our final climb. Get our nose up, watch our throttle. You know, so it went back up to full throttle because our altitude dropped. When we get back up to 29, we're going to have to drop it again. We are climbing now. Looks like I'm making a lot of adjustments, but it does hold itself there, both hands. I'm just micromanaging, I guess. So 1,900 meters a second, still accelerating. Still under 30,000. It's 28, so I'm going to have to throttle back very soon. 80 kilonewtons. And I'm going to throttle back at 70 just to avoid that flame out. See, the beauty of this design with the top and bottom is that if we flame out at half throttle or quarter throttle, it's not going to put us into a spin. It'll handle it quite nicely, actually. We've got 40 kilonewtons from the top engine. Oh, I should have taken it off. 70 from the bottom. We did flame out on the top, but you can see it didn't spin us over because we took it down gradually. But if we keep reducing the throttle, we still keep getting power from the engines. But we need to climb. We need to climb. As you can see, our speed is slowly decreasing because we've had to back off the throttle. Alright, so at this point we'll shut down the top engine, reach 35,000, shut down the top engine, which means you can give some more power to your lower engine. twice the air for that engine now. Still keep an eye on it. Still accelerating. We're back to accelerating now. We'll shut down the top engine. There we go, 40,000 meters. And we're still putting out 42, 43 kilonewtons of thrust. So we're still accelerating. Now, keep our nose down. We're going to be climbing anyway. It's really hard to change your prograde at this altitude above 40,000. The air is just too thin to really change your prograde by a great deal. You can still change it, but not by a great deal. So if we keep a bit flatter, we get more air in the intake. We'll be able to burn for longer. So we have 44,000. Still accelerating, still burning. I've had planes that burn right up to 52. This one won't burn that high, but we'll keep using it while we can. Because the air is so thin, even with only 13 kilonewtons of thrust, we are still accelerating. And we are still climbing at a really good rate. So we'll just let it do its thing until we push up to 50,000, then it'll be dead. Check the map page. Yeah, it's not quite fast enough to push us into space. There we go. It looks like the engine has finally died. So shut that down. We'll kill the intakes. Got an extra engine up. Who are you? Shut down that engine. Hit the rockets. We'll use our rockets to burn up the last little bit. So we're already at 52, so it's not going to take much. We're already doing 2,250 meters a second orbital speed. So we've already got our periapsis coming around. Push it up to 75 or so. There we go. So that is definitely headed into outer space. As you can see, we've still got 3/4 of our oxidizer left, which means circularizing this orbit is going to be too easy. It really is too easy. Oh. Alright, let's speed up some time. because we're no longer holding our thrust. The apoapsis is actually coming down a little bit, but that's to be expected. That's why we set it higher than 70 and not exactly on 70, because we're still in the atmosphere, so we're still getting drag. Not as much drag now that we've closed off the air intakes, but drag nonetheless. Alright, so that's 70,000. Can use a better time acceleration. Hit the jets again. And there we go. A beautiful circular orbit for half a tank of oxidizer. Now just sit back and watch the sun come up. I always love the sunrise. I should have saved some missiles. That's terrible, isn't it? You find something beautiful. Oh, I should have saved missiles. Alright, let's put it back down. Oh, in case you didn't see where the jets were before. I've probably gone a bit too far actually. There's Kerbin space control there with part of the last ship. Well, that's okay. That's alright. We don't actually have to get back there. No, this craft last lands pretty much exactly like the other one. As you can see, it's really tough to mount wheels on a craft like this, and vetoing it down onto this landing gear, well, it'd take a better pilot than me, let's just say that. But what we can do is just like the last one, glided in, barely landed the water. There you have the stock Terran Wraith with VTOL and missiles and orbit potential. Challenge accepted and completed. Oh, and a shout out to Cruisin, who invented this type of missile. I don't know if he invented it. He's the one that showed me how to make this type of missile. So big shout out to Cruiser. Alright, let's speed it up a bit. There's not much vibration in it. It'll be fine. Slow the acceleration down through the atmospheric burn though. Ah, yeah, screenshot that. Smoking. This is my kind of runway. Look at that. Wide as an ocean. Pull it up a bit, drop some speed. And pretty much just let it do its thing. Cruising for the belly landing. Probably break the landing gear off. Probably break the lower laser off. Who are we kidding? We can't actually do lasers, the lower air intake off. But they look cool. Once again, I'm thinking I should have saved missiles. I need to breed more missiles. I need to do like a gunship with heaps and heaps of missiles. I could set that up with like 50 missiles or something. That would be so awesome. Like a big gunship. Oh, I'm so doing that. I am so doing that. So there we go. What are we doing? 37 meters a second. Beautiful glide path. Descending at 5 meters a second. Oh, there goes the laser. And there you have it. Touchdown. Because of our forward velocity, the wings are still just letting us ski. That would have been a cool screenshot too. It's a shame you don't keep the wake behind you. Let's see if it'll do that again. We'll try and get the screenshot with the spray behind. God, do it again for me. One more time for the cheap seats. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, and we could definitely take off from this position again. I mean, the engines are out of the water, they're angled nicely. And this thing is very capable of flying vertically, so taking off again would be no problem whatsoever. So thanks for watching, Lucas. If indeed you did manage to make it this far, Skype me if you want the craft file for this ship. It is all stock. However, little disclaimer, if you're running the B9 mod, it will not work because the B9 mod will nerf all your stock parts. And these wonderful turbofans that work so well as stock, if you're using the B9 mod, you just won't get the power out of them. They'll overheat and die, basically. The B9s run the pre-coolers. As the pre-cooler isn't a stock part, I'm not going to use it on my stock planes, and then the stock planes don't work. So yeah, it's just a disclaimer, if you're using B9, this craft won't work. Well, this just wants to cruise forever. It's not slowing down. I mean, the engines are off, the air intakes are closed. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to take a short break